How lack of discipline contributes to that of expertise across health facilities, in addition to varying contributions on all aspects of improving health service provision.
I must commend this high-power committee for your job well done. You have done your best based on your presentations from the primary health care, secondary and tertiary health facilities.
For this kind of opportunity, while citizens will have the forum to discuss, I think for over 2 decades, this is the first of its kind happening. I think the
kind of people that attended this town hall meeting and the input that have been generated here, I'm sure it will reposition the health sector in Borno State.
The town hall meeting collated submissions and recommendations from participants, part of which is the need for the creation of a monitoring and evaluation unit and imbibing modern trends in the actualization of universal health coverage in Borno.
Now, listen to this one. There is an old adage that says, do not give the man fish, but teach him how to fish. This is what is currently playing out in Borno State, as Governor Babagana Umara Zulum is intentional about not only resettling victims of insurgency back to their ancestral homes, but also equipping them with basic life skills to be self-reliant. Tina Toro reports that the Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, Lawan Abbo Kilby, led other stakeholders in the education sector to Konduga local government for the grand opening of a vocational center.
Rehabilitating and transforming the lives of victims of insurgency by training them on basic life skills and equipping them to becoming self-reliant is the focus of the administration of Governor Babagana Umara Zulum. Spearheading this noble cause is the Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, Lawan Abbo Kilby, who is leaving no stone unturned in ensuring that those in IDP communities are integrated into society and given a sense of belonging. The Vocational Training Center, inaugurated in Konduga local government area, comprises an automobile workshop, electrical, electronics, plumbing, hairdressing, catering, among others, to make the people self-reliant and turn around the economic fortunes of the community. Governor Zulum, represented by Senator Kakama Lemyade, who inaugurated the project, described it as a welcomed development, urging beneficiaries to make judicious use of the opportunity given to them.
They should also, train the younger ones to provide employment to the youth. The government cannot provide employment to everybody.
State Controller, Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, Borno State, Ibrahim Abubakar Marti, says the strategic partnership is to make use of Konduga employers of labor and not job seekers.
If this skill acquisition center is properly managed and being utilized and being patronized by the youth as being envisaged, at the end of the day, it is our hope this youth that finish from this institution may be employers of labor.
Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, Lawan Abbo Kilby, who is passionate in his drive to ensuring that every Borno citizen is educated and equipped with skills for self-reliance, challenged the people of Konduga to ensure enhanced enrollment, retention and mainstreaming, as this will spur government to expedite action on other intervention programs.
Whoever was at the age of 4 or 5 when the insurgency started is now 15, 16, 17. And they went for 10 to 11 years without any schooling, and they are too big to be mainstreamed into any formal schooling. So the only way out is vocational training. It will give them the enabling environment and the self-reliance to continue to pursue their education and prosperity through the blue-collar job line. That is the only option left. That is why we are passionate about it. And if you notice, we have placed them in IDP communities. Konduga is one of the communities that hosts a large number of IDPs.
Transition Committee Chairman Konduga Local Government commended the Borno State government for the gesture, saying it will build capacity and manpower for essential services in the area.
Like welding, plumbing, all this. We call people from Maiduguri, Bama and other areas to do this job. We now are sure that our indigenes will benefit and start doing these works here. The most important part is that we have a lot of people that are redundant here. This will give them a chance to be self-employed. It will give them a chance to sustain themselves, and we'll give them a chance so that we will be able to employ most of them.
The Borno State government will not retreat nor surrender, but will continue to work towards making the life of its citizens better.
Now, let me ask you this question. How many of you out there realize that reaching out to those in their need can make a whole lot of difference in their lives? Well, for NNPC, Shell, and HRMDS, doing so, especially among women and girls who always bear the brunt of challenges we face in the society, will surely rekindle their hope, hence presenting startup kits to 2,150 persons from Jere and Mafa, having successfully undergone 3 months training. It's now time to go over to White Arena in Old GRA Maiduguri, where beneficiaries of the empowerment program smiled home to the bank. Abdul Qadir Abubakar from Jere and Elizabeth Abubakar Abdullahi, drawn from Mafa, are among beneficiaries of startup kits tagged Borno State Livelihood Intervention Program, acknowledging the unprecedented impact the empowerment program has done in their lives.
Don kafin nan a dauke mu a wannan abun sun da aka zo aka yi mana tambaya abinci an so nawa kake ci a rana.
In akwai abin da yafi godiya ma ina ga zan yi. Gaskiya dan ni kan tunda nake a rayuwa ban taba samun abu haka ba.
Kamar mu masu kiwon kaza ma dan mun zuba kazojin mu har sun tashi. Muna godiya sosai.
Gaskiya muna cikin talauci da damuwa. Amma dan train da muka yi a yanzu haka ko ba mu komai ba mun samu abin da zamu kula da kanmu.
A madalin group dina kam ina musu godiya dan abin da suka koyar mana da ba mu iya ba amma suka zo suka koyar mana muna ce musu mun gode.
Sponsored by the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) and Shell Nigeria Exploration and Production Company of Nigeria Limited (SNEPCO), and managed by Human Resource Management and Development Services, the distribution of the startup kits was crafted to nurture the entrepreneurial spirit of the beneficiaries for overall growth and prosperity. The intervention is expected to promote sustainable livelihoods among the beneficiaries who have undergone 3 months training in 17 different skill acquisition programs. Key drivers of the project say monitoring and evaluation after the distribution of the startup kits is sacrosanct towards achieving long-term results.
I remember when we started enrolling them, some of the questions they answered about their status then was kind of, they didn't have means of livelihood, they were not eating properly, and right now that we have gone through all this process of ensuring that these women have been equipped with the knowledge and skills, and not only that, we have now empowered them with startup kits. I want to see the 2,150 of them have a change of status from where we met them to today where we have brought them. We'll continue to monitor their progress, continue to monitor the challenges that they may face and all that. We've taught them marketing skills as well. So it was not just impacting them with the skills, we've also taught them how to market the product, and not only in Maiduguri but even beyond Maiduguri. We've taught them how to access the social media pages as well to be able to market their products online and get buyers out of Maiduguri. So I really want to see a change in the status of these women, and I know that I'm going to see a change in the status.
I pray they don't sell those things because there's something about, if there's, okay, let me give you a scenario. When they sell those things, they are actually empowering the sellers. They are not empowering themselves. They are giving themselves a lot of disservice. They are doing a lot of disservice to themselves in the sense that they will sell at a very cheap rate. We will go back to buy from the sellers, and then those ones will make more money.
The best way to say thank you is for them to put it to work for themselves, to help their family and their community, the society at large, which will also contribute to the growth of the nation.
Representatives of State Emergency Management Agency, Ministry of Women Affairs, as well as Poverty Alleviation, applauded the organizers for bringing the life-changing initiative to the doorsteps of the people.
The starter kit they were given, they have to make use of it. They should not sell it, they have to use by themselves so that they will become self-reliant.
I know with these things more will benefit. Yes, I thank them very much. More grease to their elbow, and we are expecting more from them.
Distribution of the startup kits proper is scheduled to follow immediately at various designated locations across the state capital and will span over days to ensure that every beneficiary is attended to. Now, guess what? Senator Mohammed Tahir Mangunu has again empowered another set of 400 young men and women from northern Borno with 20 million naira in addition to capacity building training. This is part of the empowerment scheme of the senator representing northern Borno towards supporting in rebuilding Borno and resilience of the people affected by insurgency. Tina Toro, what more can you tell us about that?
Selected from northern Borno, these 400 young men and women who have successfully undergone 3 days extensive training were empowered with 50,000 naira each, amounting to 20 million naira. They thanked the Chairman, Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Mohammed Tahir Mangunu, for the benevolence, saying it will go a long way in alleviating their sufferings.
Lardi Borno yallan kamno ne senator cardinal kajin zufayana kamar MT Mongore de Ruyande labtamaro o shomzar amso banajin kamso akilimi su turura kajin zauro fayana ba wani tarakan da senator da muka zaba wanda ya kula da talakoki masu wani ma wanda baya zuwa ko ina daga gonansa sai gida ya samu alherin gwamnati in ba wannan karo ba taba yi ba banda MT Mongoro ba mu taba samu ba a Northern Borno.
State APC Deputy Chairman Kalla Maina Mongunu, represented by Mustafa Gadobe and other stakeholders of Northern Borno, also appreciated the continued effort of Senator Tahir Mangunu in transforming the region with massive infrastructural projects for the betterment of Borno State.
Kuruja maso MT Mongoro a kidan gode party APC kakkale da jina kara. Kura ongo barazi gwamnati sirin mare ngawurin kakkalo zahara da jina kara. Uri tiriya kamare captain a duniya dupiu ka awura computer la nduri mate aro tewasi asai aro ani kam yodo chimba au sarebe sabsana is intelligent kuru ala e kumande au kada tana solo ku senate ya la borno kwa kana wasala mu gonje dukuru ire ma tare dia na ala lambarin yana da ala ya marja mura zo so ta mukin ko ramin man nam kimbaro ala ya siriya wa ta masarta muzal ani kusa misalo video na rakil sabul muna are ku shirin sita gozo kuro kedo ande ala borno e kudo wakil chonde kulo zula sola da burizien moto da ngaw fanze pompom da fu fanze military da korkor fanze da kinare kama wolona kamla jiri we galle ba kwara turusuri da gori maro erokin
yo jamaso ala MT Manguna barazin a wodiwe tada adabe kaman zuro sidin allan andero siri bawo motalan sadina babur keke na peplan sadina computer lan sadina awo kapya kambe siyasa lan kaman banajin allan MT Manguna andero siri ma bawo andi awo klanden wajib suna be jiro wolona suwayero ngawon zin danyo kajiriyero ngawon zin danyo sha alangorolan bananyo.
Senator Mohammed Tahir Mangunu, represented by Sheikh Mohammed Ali Gajiram, thanked his constituents for the resilience, pledging to deliver more dividends of democracy.
Somebody raised an alarm during the sessions today that he did this workshop 17 times. Right ahead, I objected, saying we cannot assess the actual number of the workshop did by Senator MT Mangunu.
Baranzu kome a wasirinda a MT Mangunu sirinda samma sumo fure. Dalin zira wure katab baranzu kome gozuna talaanji molzina ide shi baranzu MT Mangunu talaanji molzina. Kasa da zare inshallah ndu soy kijizu fanjin da baranzu senator askarinyana.
Let's move on. In an effort to empower and strengthen capacity of women heads of households, especially widows, to acquire skills to enhance their livelihood and also contribute to the economic growth of their families, Damnesh Human Capacity Building Initiative has trained and empowered more than 20 women in the metropolis with startup kits. For more on this story, let's now follow Kaigama Mustafa to Damnesh Human Capacity Building Initiative office behind Chari House in Wulari.
The program was organized to build confidence and resilience of women heads of households, especially widows, as well as provide entrepreneurial skills to enable them achieve their dreams in life. Commissioner of Women Affairs Zuera Gambo, represented by Director Administration of the Ministry Halima Chiroma, said the training is focused on Akara and Awara making, which also have great market potentials in the community.
Women are making soap, beads making, these are incense, humra, turaremuta, and women are also doing this kind of program there.
She said equipping them with necessary skills in addition to provision of starter kits will enable them generate more incomes as well as become self-reliant. Executive Director Damnesh Human Capacity Building Initiative, Musa Hamidu Kida, said the organization considers poverty as a multidimensional problem that affects every aspect of human lives, as it hinders access to education, healthcare, shelter, and ultimately deprives people of their dignity, among others.
This is just a starting point. In fact, our major plan is to say that many more people are brought onto the platform, and not only that, we want to build a value chain where even these things we are giving them, like the soya beans, like the beans itself, will get to the farmer that will also produce these things to them.
Now I'll pass this message to my honorable commissioner so that we will empower you more to fight poverty, so that you can start how the Central Government of Borno State with this same organization. We are going to empower you so that you expand more.
Chairman Board of Trustees of the organization, Engineer Maji Mustafa, says the main focus of the program is to train women to acquire entrepreneurial skills and become self-reliant.
Our aim was not only to provide these resilient women with practical skills, but also to instill in them confidence and self-belief necessary to pursue their dreams.
Some of the beneficiaries appreciated the organization for the training and provision of starter kits, assuring to use the items for the purpose intended.
Wanda za mu iya mu tallafa ma ƴaƴanmu har su yi makaranta da shi. Allah ubangiji ya sa mana albarka a ciki.
Ya sa in bunkasa in samu ƴaƴana su yi university har su samu aiki a ciki har in gina gidana a ciki.
Gaskiya building capacity gaskiya mun gode sosai. Za mu yi yanda aka koya mana sosai, in Allah ya yarda za mu amfana da shi.
Ga kujerar da za ta dora wannan bucket din a kai, tana saka kosanta a ciki a tsaftace. Ga kaskonta, ga lemanta wanda zai hana ta daga tabuwa da rana, ga kasko komai da ga mai dinta nan cikakken jarka, kuma sa'an nan an hada musu da kudin itace at the end of the day. Nan wurin kuma again yawa ga gisha bayan kasa ya tuna da marana ba ko bane Allah yana ba shi kasuna da zai tuna wannan.
Engaging repentant insurgents in meaningful ventures will no doubt help end the crisis. It is against this backdrop that Transcultural and Psychosocial Organization of Nigeria, TPO, organized a livelihood skills training and products exhibition for repentant Boko Haram members of both gender. The event took place at Hajj Camp, Maiduguri. For now, Umar, it's your turn tonight.
The training was organized to further equip the repentant insurgents in getting a lawful business to become good citizens. They were trained on craft and shoemaking, groundnut cake, groundnut oil, and traditional insect, among others. Project manager of TPO and some officials said the idea was conceived to help the repentant insurgents live in a decent and fulfilled life.
In order for us to have a more sustainable reintegration of women and children that are exiting armed groups, it is important that these women and children are engaged into livelihood and skills acquisition programs. December last year, she officially opened this center on behalf of the government and through the support of UNICEF and other partners like the Swiss Corporation, European Union, we have UNDP, among others, in order for us to provide what we call multi-sectorial services for women and children that are exiting armed groups in Northeast Nigeria.
In their several remarks, Acting Farmer Secretary and Director of Fire Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development commended TFO for the initiative, saying the ministry will partner with TFO in empowering more repentant insurgents.
This program, we are here to flag off the training of our repentant Boko Haram women who came from the bush. They were here for some months, trained on various trades so that they should be self-reliance, avoid any redundancy and idle-mindedness.
This is part of their integration program that we are doing here in the Hajj camp. So after accessing these services, we will make sure that each child, when he's going back to the community, we provide with a startup kit. When you are into tailoring, we give you a tailoring machine. When you are into knitting, we give you a knitting machine. Whatever skill that you learn, you will go with a startup kit so that we can start from there in the community.
Some beneficiaries thanked the organization for coming up with a program aimed at assisting them, saying they will hold on the skill acquired to improve themselves and also contribute to the development of the society.
Na shigo nan ne lokacin da na zo ban iya wani sana'a ba, shine UNICEF suka ɗauke ni ina koyan sana'an yin takalmi.
A'a leza andero gurza da no sanya kulituro wanda ngai naptide rawi da ya ande ishe yana da
taimakon gwamnati ne har na samu na shigo cikin kamfin na har na samu na koya sana'an aski.
The purpose of this exhibition is to show the world and our nearby communities what our beneficiaries can do, and then we expect that when they go out from what they have learned today, they'll be able to be perfect and be as productive as possible in the community. At MHPSS, we do a lot of activities where we deal with children and women mostly, where we try as much as possible to change their perspective from where they come from to the new world they have approached, because most of them have never been to this part of the world. They are used to the bush, and then we try to see that they change what they believe and the things that they see there, and they see something different here.
Towards cushioning the hardship being experienced by people, especially students, now that prices of foodstuff and other items have skyrocketed, All Progressive Congress Student Support Group, in collaboration with State Ministry of Transport and Energy, have distributed foodstuff and washable sanitary pads to students. Walagu Apagu was at Our Ladies Event Center, Maiduguri, venue of the event for Monday Magazine.
All Progressive Congress Student Support Group has a program tagged Help and Hope, where students unite to seek assistance from government and well-meaning individuals to support themselves. Musa Garba, who represented Commissioner for Transport and Energy, applauded the giant step taken by the national president of All Progressive Congress Student Support Group to assist her fellow students. He said the initiative will go a long way in helping the students to focus more on their studies.
It's not easy nowadays to have a leader who is caring. This level of palliative, I don't think it's just within student level. Honestly, the package can be more of a household stuff. It's very, very rich and is justifiable based on the purpose intended and needed.
National President of the group, Mariam Aliu Usman, and her team appreciated Commissioner for Transport and Energy, Muhammad Lawan Buba Bamanga, and other commissioners for being the driving force behind the success of the Student Palliative Support Program.
I am overexcited over this because I have the intent to do more good to the student. I have organized a palliative rally in the university, and I distributed goodies to the students. And there I told them that inshallah more good are coming. My call for the student is whenever the government give us support to help other students among us or around us or wherever, we should please do the right thing at the right time.
I will tell you that I was overwhelmed and overexcited with the effort of Her Excellency, the record breaker and the history maker, of the history of the Student Union Government of the University of Maiduguri, but happen to be the OO2, which are all resilience effort to help and towards the welfareism of the student, because the meaning of student union government is to towards the welfareism of the student, and that's what makes university or education per se in the history of Nigeria. So about my excitement, I was so excited, and I will now say well done job to Her Excellency.
The students who are the beneficiaries of the palliative distribution were elated by the gesture and pledged to use it for the purpose intended.
I'm very excited, especially about this washable pad. Yeah, very excited about it, and I thank the organizers, commissioner, and this
I'm very happy because we as a school are serving in the school also. We know the difficulty, especially on these subsidy issues that we are facing in this current government. Things both rice and all other food sources.
Dan Allah jama'a ta ba shinkafa. Dan Allah a dace
Institute of Business Diplomacy and Financial Management, IBDFM, has held its 61st mandatory Continuing Professional Development MCPD Investiture of Fellowship and Induction of New Members. The event took place at Muhammadu Indimi Conference Center, University of Maiduguri. It's over now to Fanna Umar for the rest of the story.
The ceremony has its theme Overview of Entrepreneurial Finance. The inductees for investiture of fellowship are Babagana Mustafa Malimbe, Ahmad Ali Ahmad, Ladi Alhaji Bunu, Alkali Kalo Imam, and Babagana Bukar. Guest speaker Professor M.D. Madawaki underscored the significance of the Institute to national development thus.
An entrepreneur is an agent of change who has passion for doing things differently in order to bring about a new satisfactory product and service users.
Chairman of the occasion, who is also Commissioner for Trade, Investment and Tourism, Tarfaya Asariya said it is a great opportunity to him to be a member of the institute.
To be a member of an institute like this one, in fact, when you had the registrar of the institute describing it as a very important organization, it opened up ways for you to know many things about finance and its application.
Babagana Mustafa Malimbe expressed appreciation to the Governor Babagana Umar Zulum and the institute for the recognition.
I really appreciate the institution for recognizing me. I also like to use the opportunity to appreciate His Excellency for giving me the opportunity to serve under his government and also contribute to the entrepreneurial development of the state under the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, where the ministry was vested with the responsibility of taking care of the vocational training centers.
Registrar and Secretary of the Institute, Sokana Danjuma Tosha, spoke extensively on the importance of the Institute in financial development of the society.
What we gathered here to do is to speak or to be taught on entrepreneurial finance. We want to learn what are some of the ways through which entrepreneurs can raise money in order to finance their businesses, both existing and new businesses, both new and existing businesses. So the institute on daily basis is aimed, on regular basis, is aimed at developing the professional skills and competencies of our members through this type of programs.
Burma State Coordinator of Institute, Ahmad Bello Mamza said the event is held annually where new members are inducted.
Those students that are graduating and those people that are writing project, when they key into that his paper, their project will be done well. And we thank the chairman of the occasion in the person of Honorable Tarpa Asaria for gracing this occasion and giving it a success. And I appreciate all the new inductees, all the members, all the fellows, the new fellows and the old fellows for coming together, and the student members. I appreciate them and appreciate the governing council, and appreciate the secretary and the registrar of the council for finding me worthy to become a state coordinator on Borno State.
Juliana Bitrus, who is also a fellow of the Institute, said she learned a lot on the entrepreneurship and the financial management.
We get our knowledge through this institution, and we also put them into practice. So whoever comes into this institution is really an educative institution.
Awards and certificates were presented to the inductees.
Thank you. So it is wife too. I'm here through allegiance to the Institute of Business Diplomacy.
Now, towards complementing policies and developmental programs of Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, Chairman, Bama Local Government Council, Grema Terab, has embarked on developmental projects that will have direct impact on lives of the people as he inaugurated skill acquisition centers and commenced reconstruction of District Head's Palace in Bama. Yaruwaya Umar, we can't wait to hear more on that.
Construction of Palace of the District Head of Bama, according to the chairman, became necessary due to the destruction by the Boko Haram insurgents in the area. He said traditional rulers are the custodian of the community, hence deserve a befitting palace to rule their subjects well. The chairman also inspected 2 skill acquisition centers with a call on the community to make good use of the centers provided to enable them become self-employed. The chairman thanked Governor Zulum and member House of Representatives Zainab Gimba for their unwavering support to the area.
limin kanal kajine so wanda ya wada rumen de da kam do and ya taxi awa da su na harin su sangina da wannan jesne ne mu dan godo yarin gwamnati Borno da shi commissioner do education ne kokarin za shamsu ministry ya gune ba kausu ba biya mun ta da kamar bulan za gai mu za san bula da yawa gai ba mun tirci tumuran za dai
Grema Terab, alongside Commissioner of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, Lon Abou Kilbe, visited Technical School Bama, where school materials were distributed.
It's a very big avenue for the revival of education and as well as human capital development in Bama local government. We therefore wish to assure you and the governor that Bama Local Government Council will monitor and ensure proper use of these institutions to the benefit of our people. We will also like to extend our profound gratitude to Dr. Zainab Gimba for building such an edifice in Bama.
We have gone a step further by establishing a government day secondary school in Banki on the 10th of February 2023. Today we are also going a step further on the earlier promise made by reopening the vocational training center in Bama after more than 1 decade of closure.
I implore on parents and guardians in Bama to seize this moment and enroll their wards in this institution. Education is the key that unlocks the doors to the world of opportunities.
The sumo mathematical setting kakadi roya da kingawa yin dro uniform saduna nguru wa samaso bara gomna
To boost the morale of the Joint Food Patrol team in the area, the chairman paid their monthly stipend and urged them to continue to strengthen security in the community. Meanwhile, All Progressive Congress primary election was conducted peacefully in Bama, where Moda Ali Guja emerged as the chairmanship candidate and 14 councillors for the forthcoming local government elections.
Let's move on. The last APC chairmanship and councillorship primary elections in Goza can be said to be a political affair that will linger in the minds of stakeholders and the entire inhabitants of the council owing to the manner in which it was conducted, particularly the transparent and peaceful aspects. This feat was made possible owing to the frantic efforts made by the caretaker chairman, Abdullahi Danjato. Let's now head to Goza for other happenings concerning the polls.
40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 60, 61, 62,
Commenting further on the general conduct of the last APC chairmanship and councillorship primary elections in Goza, as well as Pulka separately, caretaker chairman of the council, Abdullahi Danjato, showered series of encomiums on stakeholders and the entire inhabitants for reaching a consensus by choosing Abba Kawu as chairmanship candidate of Goza on the platform of APC ahead of the final elections.
Goza we free and fair election. Ba ruwan ba mu san waye wannan ba. Haka ne. Amma na so ku yi abu a cikin natsuwa. In ba ku yi abu a cikin natsuwa ba, mu party ba za mu bar party mu ya ɓace. Gaskiya. Mu party ba za mu bar party mu ya ɓace ba. Haka ne. Akwai CEO a Fulka. Akwai jami'an tsaro a nan. Haka ne. Wallahi duk mutumin da bai respecting jama'an tsaro ba, mu ba za mu respect nashi ba. Dole ka fito. Kuma ka sani sojojin suna aiki don mu suna aiki. Sun gare su shekaru nawa. Kansala kan shi mafi sai tsaro ba. Ni na chairman su biyar. Na yi chairman na party shekara 20. Har yanzu mutane shaida ne. Haka ne. Allah kara lafiya. Amma da yake abban ya zama na zamani ne shi ya sa muke. Gaskiya. Za mu sa mutum daya. Za mu sa mutum ɗaya a nan ya tsaya a can da mutanensa. Za mu sa mutum ɗaya a tsallake can da mutanensa. Za mu sa mutum ɗaya a tsallake can da mutanensa.
While describing the elections generally as the freest and peaceful in recent years, Abdullahi Danjato acknowledged the turnout and level of cooperation extended by the people, which he explained is a clear reflection of unity of purpose and understanding. Chairman of the Primary Elections Committee, Tijani Alkali Goni, said he was impressed with the vote of confidence passed on the local government chairmanship candidate Abba Kawu and urged the people to sustain the momentum for the progress of the area.
Zabe primary shi ne duku na ABC a chairman a Goza.
APC chairmanship candidate of Goza, Abba Kawu, who was overwhelmed with joy for the solidarity, assured not to disappoint Governor Babagana Umara Zulum and his supporters and called for cohesion to propel Goza to where it ought to be. Only 3 councillors in Pulka contested and won out of the 13 wards in Goza, as the remaining 10 returned unopposed. All Progressive Congress chairmanship and councillorship primary elections of Gubbio local government were conducted peacefully, where all candidates emerged unopposed through consensus. Chairperson, Credential Committee of Gubbio, who is also Commissioner for Women Affairs, Zuwaira Gambo, declared Mali Bulama Mali as the chairmanship candidate for APC in the forthcoming local government elections. Let's now follow Iyamaji to Gubbio local government for the rest of the story.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All candidates emerged unopposed, where Mali Bulama Mali emerged as the chairmanship candidate alongside 10 councillors representing the 10 wards of Gubbio. Chairperson of the Credential Committee of Gubbio local government, Zuwaira Gambo, while addressing the electorate, commended people of Gubbio for their unity of purpose, cooperation and maturity exhibited before, during and after the primary elections, urging them to remain united for the victory of APC. Mali Bulama Mali, who emerged as the chairmanship candidate of Gubbio local government, is the incumbent caretaker chairman of Gubbio and has served the local government twice. He described his emergence as an indication of his commitment to developing the area and assures to continue with the good work he is doing. Mali Bulama Mali thanked people of Gubbio for their support and enjoined them to actively participate in the forthcoming local government elections for the overall success of the party. Member representing Gubbio at the State Assembly, Gubo Muruma, and other Gubbio elders commended APC stakeholders and supporters for the unity of purpose, saying Gubbio is the home of APC, as shown through the unanimous selection of the candidates.
And there is some Maswatana. Nyen nepa nimi nemi ande kuli sana nalele aude de ishe ya kono ngao noga kenyero parati pitile ishe ofukalo ande asa. Jadi candidate chairman de kirmae Mali Bulama Mali Gubbio. Malaysia manda kancila dunia jamaah kerja suna kamu kada safar. Assalamualaikum. Jamaahku waktu mana lagi? Sa waktu mana ini para lalu ye kelat drone melandanya ado amsoro aw mana ini mana iya. Cingge dati dangana kusota isana askala dan karo cingge sendiri aku. Nyandiro taida za askirmena isu abelandero kelewa selailan zabe belandero kelewa selai diwa kansila ande bewa chairmanja bazia manja tukso kelewa selailan na Allah zabe du ande tukso shadayena na police may, soldier may, SS may, NOAA may, civil defense may, Obama bas yar di so ko kakar mu ko sakina kelewa selailan belandero zabe tirina kuli akiye mabaro zabe tirina so kungoni ko jira askirmena buri ya cika an aje gurbi a bariya honorable Mali Bulama zabi na Allah.
Let's now shift our attention away from the last chairmanship and councillorship primary elections of the APC that were conducted across Borno State. A renewed hope and disability-inclusive society, a society where everyone, regardless of their abilities, have the opportunity to reach their full potentials and contribute to the world around them, was the advocacy of disabled persons in Borno State. This came to the fore during this year's International Day for Disabled Persons, organized by Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development in collaboration with Intergovernmental Affairs and Special Duties, held at Prime Lodge, Maiduguri. Let's hear Tina Toro one more time.
The ambassador
Ahmad Shehu ba ya biyo bayan su.
This gesture demonstrated by these government officials aimed to promote a sense of belonging and highlight the importance of acknowledging and including people with disabilities in the community. The International Day of Disabled Persons was set aside by the United Nations to promote an understanding of disability issues and mobilize support for the dignity, rights and well-being of persons with disabilities, and to increase awareness of gains to be derived from the integration of persons with disabilities in every aspect of political, social, economic and cultural life. Representative of Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, who is also the Commissioner of Intergovernmental Affairs and Special Duties, Ibrahim Tukulshani, says Borno State government is committed to creating disability-friendly environment and equal opportunities for a renewed hope for them.
It is strategically pertinent to note that we are steadfast in our commitment to creating an environment where the rights of persons with disability are respected and upheld. We recognize the need for equal access of education, healthcare, employment, and all facets of life.
Commissioners of Women Affairs and Social Development, Zuwaira Gambo, and that of Information and Internal Security, Usman Tar, also confirmed the government's efforts in transforming the lives of the disabled persons in the state.
We also have women that are vulnerable and are also part of these vulnerable people, and they have been related with the Ministry of Women Affairs, but they cannot say and will not say that they don't want the Minister of our Commissioner for Youth and Sport, because he has been paying their stipend and has been participating actively in all activities on their behalf.
Carrying them along in policy issues, especially with regards to giving them, special advisor status in the cabinet or in the government of Professor Zulum, is something that they tabled, and we will forward this request to the government, to His Excellency, and he will look into it.
Other speakers from Borno Senior Citizens, May Abomodu, Pache Ahmed Shehu, and representative of Commissioner of Police, who is also the Divisional Police Officer Gonge, Superintendent Akpobasa Loki, challenged discriminatory practices and advocated for policies that promote equality, inclusion, rights and perspectives of persons with disabilities. Representatives of the people living with disabilities, Adama Yerima Balla and Mohammed Abubakar, made case for members' empowerment and employment opportunities, as well as access to education, transport and other public spaces.
Let us remember that disability advocacy is not a mere obligation, but a privilege, an opportunity to make a profound difference in the life of others.
Duk mutumin da ya ce maka ka daina bara, wallahi ba tangoma bane, yana son ya baka hanya kyakkyawa ne. Amma abin da muke son mu ga abin nan anan wajen manyan mutanen mu, wallahi ba ma son bara, kuma ba mu goyi bayan bara ba, kuma ba za mu yi bara a cikin Maiduguri ba.
It is heartwarming that the special individuals were both entertained by cultural troupe and presented thoughtful cash gifts by government, making the event truly a memorable one for them.
There is no denying the fact that gender-based violence is a societal ill that has remained a major concern, especially with traumatic events trailing conflict-ridden communities. That was why Borno State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, in collaboration with Gender Equality, Peace and Development Center, JPAT-C, as well as other partners, are not relenting in shining the eyes of citizens to check the trend. Zainab Adam was there for us.
31-year-old Mairo Mohammed is one of the thousands of women who have benefited from JPAT-C's intervention on gender-based violence and psychosocial support. According to her, JPAT-C is a lifesaver because of the enlightenment they have received on reporting and managing abuses, such as beating, battery, and maltreatment from spouses in their communities. As such, she joined this workout to raise awareness against the stigma mounted on sexual and gender-based violence survivors to mark the 2023 16 Days of Activism against GBV.
We thank JPATC for changing our lives, and the rate of GBV has reduced in our area.
According to United Nations, violence against women and girls remains one of the most prevalent and pervasive human rights violations that needs every stakeholder to curtail.
We have also worked closely with the Ministry of Justice, the Nigerian Police, FIDA, MBA, and all stakeholders to ensure that justice is given to the victims. And that is why we have had an increase in the number of cases. Not because there are more rapes, but simply because we have created enough awareness. When you see, you speak, you report. We have gender-based desk in all the police stations.
Please let us not stop the 15 days of activism on the 25th. We must go beyond it. She will give us a charge on what they are doing and how we can support them and how we can move on in solidarity, united, to ensure that Borno State is zero tolerance to GBV.
The walk to freedom engages men and women as well as youths to catch them young for optimum results.
Create awareness and sensitization to caregivers as well as persons with responsibility to know that it is their responsibility to protect these minors, it is their responsibility to protect the children, it is their responsibility to ensure that they are given proper care and attention as required of them as caregivers as well as parents.
We want to engage men in accountable practice because men are the major perpetrators of GBV. I don't say that women are not, but men are the major perpetrators of GBV. We learn how to respect women and to be able to promote what our vision is, to see a community that is free from gender-based violence.
Of course, let us all come together in breaking the silence against gender-based violence. Meanwhile, in furtherance of activities marking 16 days of activism against gender-based violence for 2023, Gender Equality, Peace and Development Center, JPATC, with support from European Union Act and Global Fund for Women, organized a friendly football match to kick out GBV and its menace in Borno. Zainab Adam again captured the beautiful female match between two teams representing international non-governmental organizations and national NGO staff.
Every ball kicked by these women is a ball of unity and collaborative efforts to end GBV practices, societal barriers, gender stereotypes, and stigmatization against women in the society. The 16 Days of Activism is an annual commemoration from 25th November to 10th December to advocate and ensure a brighter future and a safe society for women and girls free from gender-based violence. Representative of EU Act, Marcus Uba said that this year's theme, Unite, Invest to Prevent Violence Against Women and Girls, says it all.
Prevention, like it is commonly said, is always better than cure. Raise awareness of the negative impact that violence and abuse have on women and children, and to rid the society of abuse permanently.
Executive Director of JPATC, Professor Patricia Donley, says the unity in sport shows some of the inherent rights of women and girls to be seen, heard, and to advocate for their rights and protection.
There are some of our cultures that are really not, they are quite negative against women. For example, the issue of child marriage. A child has no business with marriage. A child is a child. You know, a married person is somebody who can coordinate, somebody who can reason, somebody who together with the husband you can sit down and discuss. But then you find that these women are actually married to men that are a lot older than them. Then what happens to her own education, to the girl child education? And we know that even through this crisis, that without education, survival becomes almost nil. You know.
We say no to rape. We say no to discrimination. We say no to intimate partner violence. We say no to GBV. Are we standing in solidarity? Yes. And we are saying what? No.
The Novelty March for Gender Equality players also comment.
Question is, if a man should cook, if a man should wash the plates, is there anything about him that changes him from being a man? No. So these are some of the things that we ourselves have personally internalized. And then if we want to see that this world is a world where we are all free from violence, we need to join hands together and fight this fight for GBV.
Really delighted that I'm part of the game because I actually love football, and this is a very great opportunity for me to not just play and enjoy the sport, but also to create awareness against gender-based violence.
Parents should make sure that they watch their girl child, because you see men calling them my wife. And from then they start, the girl wouldn't understand what it means. She'll be sent, she'll be used. And when she's used, parents don't report it. Even when it is reported, they will go and say, abali, or but that's samiji, but that kind of a thing. We should face it squarely and fight against it.
At the end of the interesting encounter, the scoreline is 3-3 draw for both the INGOs and NNGOs. And everyone went home with the hope that the message of freedom from GBV will continue to be spread for a sane society.
So much messages to take away there indeed against gender-based violence. Now, Church of the Brethren in Nigeria, UIN Pompomari Maiduguri, has held its annual harvest and Thanksgiving, a day set aside to offer sacrifices of gratitude to God for all he has done to mankind. I have the feeling that Treasure Jonah is eager to tell us all about it.
Harvest and Thanksgiving is a special day Christians come together to give thanks to God for a successful planting and harvest season, acknowledging God's graciousness and abundance. Pastor Manasseh Sawa in his sermon admonished Christians as a community of faith to be contented with all that God has given them and return it cheerfully and in abundance to God in thanksgiving.
Na abinda ubangiji ya musu idan mun duba farawa idan mun duba fitowa yayin da mutanen Isra'ila suka fito lokacin da suka tsallake kogin Urdun sun fita sun rera waka suna yabon ubangiji domin me sun ga alherin ubangiji.
Pastor, church elders and members express gratitude to God for his love, faithfulness, gift of life and abundant blessings.
He said that in every situation we find ourselves, we should give thanks unto God. So even in our situation of this country today, we need to appreciate God.
Annual Harvest Thanksgiving is an annual event that all Christians normally do to showcase the blessings that they receive from God throughout the year.
This year's Harvest and Thanksgiving seems to be very special because everybody was so excited and we gave out of the abundance of our heart. So we pray that next year God will bless us with
We have to come to God and appreciate Him for what He has done to each and every one. Indeed, great is His faithfulness. And that's why today we are calling on all Christians. Let us celebrate God. Even in every situation, the Bible says in every situation we give Him thanks. And God has done it for us.
I'm so elated on this day, looking back from January to this time, how God has been faithful. Through the good and the bad, the Bible says in every circumstances we should give thanks to God. And so we are here at the end of the day to return all thanks to God.
Ina godiya ga Allah yayin da ya bi da mu daga farkon wannan shekara har ya kawo mu cikin wannan Thanksgiving lafiya. Mun gode mishi sosai domin duk kanubalen da aka samu kan mutum a cikin wannan shekara da gogormaya da aka yi duk bai hana mutum yin komai ba.
Prayers, worship, praises, and dances were observed as church members joyfully present their harvest to God in thanksgiving.
And on that cheering note, that's talking about the annual harvest and Thanksgiving of EYN Pompomari. We've come to the end of the program. We cannot thank you enough for always being there. Now, on behalf of the whole team, I am Abubakar Musa saying good night and God bless.